Hello, folks.
Hello, folks.
Hope you're doing all right.
Hope you're doing all right.
Is there an echo in here? This is Stay Well with Dr. Zorba Pastor.
And I am Dr. Zorba Pastor.
That's him. He's right there. And he loves this theme song.
I do, actually.
That's my cue to get you to sing it.
I do like the theme song. It's got like verve to it.
It's got some verve.
Yeah.
That's a word I don't hear a lot anymore.
Verve?
I like it. There's
There
a
was
band
a record
called
label.
The Verve.
And there was a record label.
Jazz, right?
Called Verve, yeah.
Yeah,
And
Verve
I like
Records.
Verve. It's like, Verve is like vitality.
Is that what it means? What is the definition of
I
verve?
don't know.
We
can
don't have
look
a
it up,
computer
or
in
we
front
don't
of
look
us.
it up. But verve means energy. It's got an energy to it. Like you've got verve. Means you have energy.
I like verve.
But we don't tend to use it in a sense. Probably a good word for Scrabble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or
Couple
what about
Vs.
Wordle?
But do
It'll
you
be
ever
good
get
for
two
Wordle.
V's in Scrabble? It's
What?
pretty rare to get two V's in Scrabble.
Verve.
How many
It is
V's
hard.
how many V's are in Scrabble?
I don't know.
Probably two.
I don't know. It's more than one V. There's got to
You'd
be
think
more
so,
than one
yeah.
V. Yeah. For those Scrabble players, please write us at askdrzorba@gmail.com or call us at 608-492-9292 and tell us your latest V word.
I like that. There's a lot of good V
Yeah.
words.
We could start with words of the alphabet. We got a whole bunch of them, like A
Send us
words,
your
B
Scrabble
words.
tiles. Yeah.
Let's get on with the show.
Okay, yeah, I'm Carl Christensen still, and I'm
I'm
sitting
Zorba
across the
Pastor.
desk. Yeah, he's right there, the one and only good doc.
Yep.
And today we got a big show. We're going to look at some new research showing long-term use of PPIs may not increase stomach cancer risk.
I think this is really important research, and I'm going to go over the study in detail because I think it's a very, very important study. I reviewed it in the BMG. I think it's incredibly important.
All right, good. Zorba's going to help out a caller as well. He will start cleaning out his inbox and answer some of these emails. We're getting a lot of emails from people.
Going to clean.
You'll never
my
clean your
inbox.
inbox?
Do you clean your inbox?
Sure. It
Are you
feels good. I
serious?
get a little stressed out when I have too many emails.
Are you serious?
Yeah. How about on your phone when you have the little red number next to the emails and it shows you how many
I don't do
unread
that.
ones you
know
have?
something? I'm going to look at my phone right now.
Yeah, how many do you
I'm going
have?
to look at my inbox and I'm going to tell you how many are in my inbox right now.
This is
And I'm looking
fascinating
at it,
podcast
and
right
I
here.
can tell you I have 16,500 in my inbox.
16,000?
Yep.
Okay.
And
that
you
would
want to know
stress
why?
me out. Why?
You want to know why? I never, ever clean it out, and I never will. I just buy
You're a
more
hoarder.
memory.
You're an email
I'm
hoarder.
an email hoarder. I'm an email.
Do you keep them
hoarder.
for a reason? Like, do you want to always reference them sometimes?
Well,
or-
I think I want to reference them, but and sometimes I do reference them.
Mm-hmm.
But on our office emails that we periodically would change because, I worked for Dean Clinic, which became SSM. We would change it, and I asked them. I kind of insisted I want to have a place to keep my old emails. And then I would have to go to a different spot.
Oh, sure.
Basically
Like archive
to look
them?
at archive.
Yeah.
And you know what I discovered? I never went to the archive.
but you have them just in case.
So I'm an email hoarder. That's
Love
right.
it. All right, we're going to answer emails. Zorba's going to answer emails. We're going to hear from the grammar cops. We're also going to find out what happens when my mom gets the gumption to step on stage at an open mic and deliver one of her mom jokes.
Are you serious?
That's just a different way of saying we're going to hear a mom joke.
Okay. I thought she actually stepped on stage with an open mic.
Someday, Mom, I think you should do that. Do an open mic. I think that'd be great.
It'd be a great
yeah.
idea.
Yeah. Anyways.
Even if it's in front of the family.
Yeah. Start small. Start at like
Start
a
small.
Thanksgiving dinner,
Start with
maybe.
Thanksgiving dinner, right? Stand up.
4th of July, maybe a larger party,
that's
kind of
right.
work up
That's right.
towards
Got the whole thing.
the brick wall and
That's
the
right.
microphone at a comedy club. If you have a question for the good doc, you can call this hotline. This is our hotline, 608-492-9292.
Or email us at askdrzorba@gmail.com. Spell it out, and drzorba.org. That's the website. You
Those
can
are the
find
things.
a lot of things on that website.
Yeah.
A lot of good things.
All right, Zorba, let's kick off today's healthy living topic. This is a new study that you sent this to me. You were really excited about this one concerning PPIs and stomach cancer risk.
So let me go into this in detail. There has been questions of whether or not stomach cancer is caused by two groups of drugs that basically reduce acid in your stomach. So the first group of drugs started out, they're called H2 blockers. They block what's called the histamine response that has to do with what's going on in your stomach with acid. The first drug in that class was a drug called Tagamet. Tagamet came out maybe 50 years ago and changed the course of medicine.
Really?
Changed the course of medicine. So Tagamet came out, I think in like 77, 78, something like that. But when I first went to medical school, men and women who had ulcers, we called them ulcers, some of them were GERD, who had terrible, uncontrollable pain. We'd put them in the hospital. We'd put a nasal gastric tube, which is very uncomfortable, through your nose, through the back of your nose, into your stomach, and we would drip in Maalox, Mylanta, Amphigel, these different antacid drugs, literally basic base to try to get rid of the pain. And often it didn't.
That's very invasive.
For people,
that seems very invasive.
It was
just
terrible.
For that.
And for people who had intractable pain, we would put them in the hospital and we would do surgery on their stomach to reduce the nerves that produce that basically acid in the stomach. There was a name which slips my mind that had to do with the different ways that you actually reduced it. You either reduced all the acid in your stomach or minimal acid in your stomach. The problem was you didn't digest things very well. So the side effect was bloating, but it may have reduced less pain. Lo and behold, the H2 blocker came out, Tagamet, and then the main one now is Zantac, famotidine, also in the name Pepcid. And these changed the course of pain within worldwide. And the person basically who invented the concept of a blocker then got a Nobel Prize. And when they gave him the Nobel Prize, they said he probably did more to reduce pain in the world than any other human being.
Wow.
Morphine did not get rid of the pain. You could have given people all the opioids you wanted to, they still had stomach pain. So those are the H2 blockers. Okay, now you have about maybe 25 years ago, well, maybe something like that, you had Prilosec that came out. Prilosec was called a PPI. It worked better than the H2 blocker. Instead of blocking the acid in your stomach, it reduced the amount of acid that was actually produced, that went into the stomach. Far more effective. The H2 blockers were very effective, but PPIs were even more effective for people who had stomach acid problems. And for some people, we actually give a combination of both. Meanwhile, there's been an increase in cancer of the stomach worldwide.
Oh.
And so the question has been, is this due to H2 blockers and PPIs or not? In other words, that's kind of the question. Because we know, for instance, a lot of GI cancers are on the rise, like colon cancer, which has nothing to do with this at all. And so the method of doing this is very, very interesting. So the 5 Nordic countries, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden, have one insurance company. Guess who that insurance company is?
The government.
That's right. And they also keep track of healthcare. They also pay for PPIs. They pay for things like Prilosec and things like famotidine. So they've got very, very good data. So what they did, they identified a little over 17,000 patients with stomach cancer. Okay, stomach cancer. And then they randomly matched each one of these by age, by sex, the year they were born, the country they lived in, with 10 healthy participants. In other words, they looked at one cancer patient. They looked at 10 people who basically were healthy. And they had a total then that they looked at of 172,297 people. A lot of people. Yeah. Okay. So it's a great big giant study. They recorded the long-term use of proton pump inhibitors and H2 blockers. And once again, these are paid for by the government. So they know how many actually people got this. They looked at them over a period. Are they taking it for months and years? They looked at other factors that may also figure in here. There's something called an H. pylori. H. pylori is an infection of the stomach that we know can cause stomach cancer, so they eliminated that. They then controlled for obesity, diabetes, whether or not they smoke cigarettes, certain medications. And after adjusting for all these factors, great big giant study that basically took place over a 26-year period from 1994 to the year 2020. Okay, so you got lots of people, and you have lots of time over there. And they found absolutely no connection at all.
Wow.
With PPIs or H2 blockers. They found that stomach cancer was on the rise, but it didn't matter whether you took these or not. Now, I think this is extremely important. The reason is some people need to take these every single day. Some people need to take them as needed, maybe for a week or two or a month or two, and then they don't need to take them. I still think that that's an okay way to do it. If you need to take it every so often, take it. But if you need to take it every single day, you need not worry that these drugs cause stomach cancer, because this study definitively shows that both Prilosec, the most common thing over the counter, and other PPIs, and famotidine and Zantac, the H2 blockers, long-term are not associated with stomach cancer, period.
If you have a question for the good doc, you can call our hotline anytime at 608-492-9292.
And don't forget, you can email me at askdrzorba@gmail.com. Spell it out, askdrzorba@gmail.com. I love to answer those emails. And remember, I've got a website, drzorba.org. So let's go to the phone.
Let's go to the phone. Good. Thanks for queuing me up, Zorba. Let's try to help out.
I queued you up.
You did. I like that. A role reversal.
That's
there.
your cue.
Nice.
That's right.
That's my cue.
Right. Well, can you answer the question? Let's make it a complete role reversal.
I don't think I can. I don't think this caller wants my medical advice at all. Maybe we'll see. If it's about tennis or guitar playing, maybe then. This is a caller from Syracuse, New York. Hi.
Hi, Dr. Zorba. So nice to talk to you.
Oh, very nice to talk to you, too. I love Syracuse. It's a really, really nice
town. I've never been.
I've been there. I was there, I think, 2 summers ago, and it's a really nice town. The university is fabulous. I have a number of cousins whose kids. Yeah, you've got a great town. I really do like Syracuse. The people are Midwestern friendly.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. It's it's Midwestern.
Syracuse,
friendly.
nice.
Yeah, Syracuse,
it's
nice.
It's very cold, but it's nice.
Well, it is chilly at times. That's right. You know, that's what happens when you live in a 4-season climate like Syracuse, Wisconsin. That's exactly what it's like. So how can we help you?
Well, at my last physical, my general practitioner recommended that I have a CT calcium score completed, but she also said that chances are my insurance wouldn't cover it. So I decided on her advice just to go ahead and do it.
Sure.
But my question is do you think this is a worthwhile test to have done? And why won't the insurance cover it?
Those are two questions. Well, first of all, the insurance doesn't cover it because it's a little bit complex, but Medicare does not cover it, except in certain circumstances. So the idea is this: if you've got a high calcium score, that implies you've got lots of cholesterol around your body, in your heart, rather not around your body, but in your heart, in your cardiovascular system. And you may need to be on a lipid-lowering drug like, cholesterol-lowering drug, such as Lipitor or something of that nature. So, and the idea is that if you have a low calcium score, that means you don't really have much fear in the way of heart disease. But the fact is you might still have heart disease. So the score is useful only in certain circumstances when there's not quite an assurance of one way or another. So let me go back a step. Tell me about your family history, your mom and dad.
Well, my mom and dad, neither of them had any issues with high blood pressure or their hearts. My dad had colon cancer, which he eventually succumbed to, and my mom had Alzheimer's, which she eventually succumbed to as well. But
how old was your mom when she had her Alzheimer's, by the way?
Oh, it was such a gradual process. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when it started, but I'd say it really, pulled up steam when she was about 85.
85.
And
okay.
She died at 95.
Okay. So she didn't get it at like 61 or 62 like my mom, which has a whole different risk factor profile.
Yeah, it was so gradual. It's hard to exactly pinpoint it, but I think it was not at 61, definitely.
Not at 61. So next question. Do you have siblings, brothers and sisters?
I do.
Are they healthy? Do they have heart disease?
No. There are 7 of us in the family, and nobody has anything like that I'm aware of.
By the way, what was it like growing up in a family of 7? I mean, I have to tell you, I'm an only child, but I have 4 kids. Now I'm trying to imagine having 7 kids. What was it like? And where are you in that birth order, by the way?
I'm the second oldest. I'm 74, but it was actually, I don't know how we did it.
Do you have any kids of your own?
2 boys. Yep. They're in their 40s now, but yeah.
It's funny because all of my kids have said to me, because I have 4 kids, because I've got Zach has 2 kids, my daughter Vanessa has 2 kids, my daughter Dee Dee has 3 kids. And she said, how did you do it? They've all said that. I said, well, you guys were there. There were 4 of you. They said, I don't know how we do it. I mean, we just sort of did it. And 7, right? You wonder how that happened. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Next question. What's your cholesterol?
My overall cholesterol is 284.
284. Okay. So that's a little bit. And what's your HDL? Do you know your HDL, the good cholesterol, and the LDL?
The HDL is 70 and the LDL is 181.
181. Okay. So first of all, 70 is a great HDL. That's very much. So it's really the 181 that your doctor is concerned about. In other words, there's certain guidelines that we use, and guidelines basically say roughly if you're at about 170 or 175, can't remember exactly what it is, that you should start on a statin. In other words, those are what the guidelines say. Now, the guidelines do not take into consideration family history. They don't take into consideration how much you exercise every week. They don't take into consideration whether you have a reasonable diet. They do take into consideration whether you have diabetes, hypertension, or you're a smoker and your age. So in other words, there are other risk factors. So I think what your doctor is looking for is deciding whether or not he or she wants your clinician should recommend that you be on a statin. So what did your doctor say?
We don't have the score back yet, so I'm not sure. That was what I was thinking too, that she was trying to figure out, should I go on a statin or whatever medication or not? But it hasn't come back yet.
So the decision point would be if you have a high calcium score, that would imply you have calcified plaques, these little cholesterol deposits in your coronary artery, and make it much more likely that you should go on a statin. If you have a low calcium score, it doesn't completely answer the question because your LDL is still higher, but it makes it less likely that you should be on a statin. What about your siblings? Do you know if they're on statins or not?
I'm not sure if everybody. My older sister, she's 1 year older than me. She is, and she's the only one that I know of my family who is on that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the rest.
See, there's another issue here that does not take into consideration what goes on with this particular protocol that we look at, and that is Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease that your mom had. My mom had Alzheimer's, had it at a young age. She died at 67, started getting it at about 62. I used to worry about it. Kind of worried about it a little bit, not too much, but I thought about it, and then when I passed the age of 67, 68, realized I didn't have it. It sort of went to the wayside. But we now know that there has been a reduction in Alzheimer's disease as soon as we started treating hypertension, hypercholesterolemia, in other words, elevated cholesterol, better eating, less smoking. We know in the Framingham Heart Study that the risk of Alzheimer's goes down just like the risk of heart disease goes down. So the question that the calcium score doesn't answer is whether or not, because you have a family history. History, we just know in the 80s, if your mom had started to develop a memory loss in the 80s, right now we think it's age-related, but it may also be age-related and related to small strokes that occur within the brain that we can or cannot measure with MRIs. In other words, it may be the same thing as a high cholesterol that your mom may have had. That's the other bottom line question. So what would I do? Well, first of all, if I had a calcium score of 0, I probably would say, look, I want to repeat my lifestyle. How is your lifestyle?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Average weight, like about 130 pounds, and I walk every day, and I have a little dog that makes sure I do it. So, I try to keep in pretty good shape.
Yeah, your dog takes you for a walk every day, right?
Yes.
I have a dog. Carl's laughing.
That's your trainer,
That's
right?
right.
The dog is
the
your
dog
trainer.
is your trainer. You've got a trainer.
Yep.
And all you have to do is put dry food in the trainer's bowl and your trainer. I like it, actually. Your dog is a trainer. I'm going to use that. Getting your dog as a trainer. Cheaper than it's
Way
a
cheaper.
personal trainer.
Yeah. Just a
Way
little dry
cheaper.
food and you're good to
and
go.
the dog just keeps on saying, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's exactly
That's
right.
for sure.
So if I had a 0 calcium score, I might still go on a statin. And if I had anything other than a 0 score, I would go on a statin just because of this theoretical decrease in the risk of Alzheimer's. And because my mom had it. Now, she was a smoker. I don't know what her cholesterol was. She might have had little strokes. She might have had Alzheimer's. She died in 1981, so we didn't have MRI scans. We had CT scans, but they were not nearly as good as they are now. So she might have had multi-stroke dementia. She might have had Alzheimer's, or she might have had a combination. But I do know she had dementia for about 7 years before she passed. So I'm very aware of cholesterol-lowering drugs. I've been on one for 15 years because my numbers were a little bit up. And I'd taken a pill. I don't like it. Even now, 15 years later, I put it in my hand and I take it and I say, I don't want to do this. I have no idea why. So I would err, since you got a calcium score, on taking it if it's anything more than the minimal.
Okay.
I think statins have been around now for 35 years, maybe 40 years. I think they're safe. They're safer than driving in Syracuse when there's snow on the ground. Let's put it in there, let alone an ice storm.
Yeah.
Right.
Or walking down the street in the winter in Syracuse when the sidewalk with your dog.
With your trainer.
With your trainer. That's right. What's your trainer's name, by the way?
Jasper?
Jasper. With Jasper.
It's a good trainer name.
It's a good trainer name. You've got to tell people, you have to say to people, I have a personal trainer. See what they say. And they'll say, really? What's your personal trainer's name? Then you say Jasper, and they'll start laughing.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh out of everyone.
Yeah.
By the way, how much did it cost, by the way?
I'm glad you asked me that. It was $169.
That's right.
Which
They're very
I didn't
reasonable.
think-
Very reasonable.
Right. Didn't
Yeah.
seem too bad.
No. So if you went out to with your kids, your husband with your kids went out. If you went out with your family and went out for dinner and had a couple of drinks, what would it cost in Syracuse with the tip?
Oh, gee. Probably over 200,
Over
depending
200,
on where you
right.
go.
So it costs less than going out to eat. So that's a test that I think is like, okay, it's like going out to eat. You don't think twice about it.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yeah.
By the way, do let us know. Please give a call back or write me at askdrzorba@gmail.com. And I do want to know what your calcium score is. I'd be very, very interested. And we may have you back if you decide to go on a cholesterol-lowering drug, if you would be interested.
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to do that.
Great. Well, thank
And
you.
I love your show. I know you hear this all the time, but I've been listening to you for a very long time, even when you're in Wisconsin Public Radio. And you're from Syracuse. My sister in Illinois told me about your show, so we both listen.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for listening
sure.
to it as a podcast. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
And I really
well, thank
appreciate your comments. And I can tell Carl does too, because he's smiling from ear to ear
Yeah.
like a Cheshire
That's a great
Cheshire
call.
cat. All right, you take care now.
You too. Thanks again.
You're
Have
welcome.
a great day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for that call at 608-492-9292. That's 608-492-9292. And Zorba, we have an email address if you want to hear the question. Right?
AskDrZorba@gmail.com. Spell it out. AskDrZorba@gmail.com. I love answering those emails.
That's right. And we have a Facebook page, which you have all kinds of pictures that you've posted.
I do.
Yeah, like ski trips,
That's right.
Brazil, all kinds
I have
of
lots
stuff
of
there.
people that watch me on Facebook. And comment. comment.
All right, let's start to clean out that email inbox
Oh,
we
gosh.
spoke about. Let's do a listener email. This question came from a listener, Carol, who writes, "Hi, Dr. Zorba. I'm losing weight by eating. I start my day with a bowl of hot barley with a pad of butter and a bit of cinnamon sugar."
Sounds good.
It does sound good.
Yeah.
I started this habit in mid-fall. I find my appetite is suppressed throughout the day. I still eat a wide range of foods, still have 3 meals and snacks each day, just less quantity of each. I'm now down more than 15 pounds since I started this.
Wow.
There's so much interest in medications that work virtually the same way, but are costly and potentially have many unpleasant side effects.
Sure.
I hope you can use your platform to highlight the benefits of consuming foods that naturally increase GLP-1 levels. I'm 5'7". I've reduced from 187 to 170 with an overall goal of getting down to 145. Thank you from a retired FNP and fellow equestrian. What's FNP? What is an FNP?
A fellow nurse practitioner.
That makes sense. Nurse practitioner. And horse rider, too.
And horse rider.
What do you think of this?
Equestrian.
What do you think of this?
Well,
Because GLP-1 drugs are
I think
huge
it's a good
right
idea.
now.
So think about barley.
Yeah.
It's got fiber in it. Tastes good. Think about a pat of butter.
I like a pat
So
of butter.
I like a pat of butter. It makes it more savory, makes it taste good. And then you make it sweet with a little cinnamon sugar.
Yeah.
And it can attenuate the appetite, decrease the appetite throughout the day. I think it's a great idea. And with that, I want to mention the fact that beans, for instance, the much maligned bean. When was the last time you went to the store and looked for dried beans?
It's been a while.
Where are they?
They're by the soups, aren't they?
They're usually by the soups.
I think so.
And where are they on the shelf usually?
Down. You got to bend over to get them, right?
That's right. The lowly beans.
Isn't there a fart joke in here somewhere?
Well, there's a joke in there somewhere, but
poop
the
joke?
beans are no
Yeah.
joke. They
Right.
are no joke.
You've talked about beans a
That's
lot
right,
before. and
because
how-
they're important. So
yeah.
here you have barley. You've got a high fiber. You've got a little savory. You've got a little sweet, and it slows down the appetite. And the reality is, yes, you'd like to do that without going to a pharmaceutical. And first of all, GLP-1s have actually been around for a long time. It's that the initial Victoza, the first GLP-1 that was on the market, was not associated with weight loss at all. That's been around, I think, at least 15 years, maybe 20 years. And the newer GLPs are associated with it. But doing it in a natural way is important, even if you're on a GLP, because it's not as if half the people who are on GLPs don't lose very much weight at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not as if you take the shot, take the drug, lose the weight. It doesn't work like that. You actually have to continue to work on it and change your eating habits. She brings up an important point. Natural, of course, is better than with a pharmaceutical, but for many people, a GLP for a year or two to get the weight down works well. But if you don't change your eating habits, the weight comes right back on. She has made a change in her eating habits, and that's great. Just Coffee Cooperative is a worker-owned, fair trade, and organic coffee roasting cooperative in Madison, Wisconsin, dedicated to a model of commerce based on transparency, respect for labor, and environmental sustainability.
That's right, Zorba. And we both love their coffee, and we drink it all the time.
Absolutely.
One ingredient, no flavors, no additives, just coffee.
Use code ZORBA10 for 10% off your entire order on their website, www.justcoffee.coop. Just Coffee Cooperative, justice from the grounds up. What I really wanted to say was that's great, like Tony the Tiger. Do you remember? That's great.
They're great.
That's right. The only
Frosted
problem
Flakes?
was that was a sugar that was Frosted Flakes, which really was not great for you.
That's not barley based, is it? That's...
So you remember, so even when you were a kid,
Oh, yeah.
that was the slogan.
Oh, I remember all those commercials with like in
Go
the
ahead.
80s from
Go
like
ahead.
so this is kind of funny you brought this up. I just today that song by the Turtles, So Happy Together, you
Yes,
and me.
yeah, right,
It
yeah.
popped into my head.
yeah,
And then, your brain just starts going.
yeah, your
and I was
brain.
like, I remember Golden Grams?
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
in the 80s is like when I was watching cartoons in the morning, and there was a Golden Grams commercial that was always on, and they used that as their jingle.
You see?
So Happy Together.
Yeah,
like,
see, you're thinking about that. And my commercials when I was a kid were tobacco commercials. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. Winston gives you real flavor, real rich tobacco flavor. Winston tastes good like a Cigarette should. I've
That's
got to
pretty
tell
good.
you, people of a certain age know that jingle. They know all this because that's what was on ours. I think Tony, the Tony the Tiger was probably healthier than the Winston commercial.
By a little bit.
Right.
Well,
Right.
There's a lot of sugar in Golden
That's
Grams,
right.
I feel
Yeah,
like.
but Golden Grams are better for you than smoking.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Can we get on with the
What was
show?
I-
or are
where
we
was
just,
I even right
I
now?
have no idea.
Oh, I know where
That's
I am.
right.
I know what's happening.
Good. Yeah, you're on the show.
We are, we're doing a podcast, listeners, and my mom loves to write these jokes. You've heard of dad jokes. I have to set this up the same way every time, don't I? These are mom jokes.
You don't have a choice.
I don't. No, I have to do it in case there's a podcast listener who's like just tuning in for the first time, and they're
Set
like,
it up.
"Why is this guy
Set
talking
it up.
about his
Set it
mom?"
up. Good. Set it up.
Okay, mom joke. This is a mom joke segment where my mom tells jokes. But it's getting. I feel like it's taking off because now we're getting listeners involved.
Yeah, really?
This is from a listener.
Oh.
A listener sent their own mom joke to us.
Seriously?
So
Oh,
I think
wow.
it's getting some
Wow.
traction.
You know what? You know something? Please.
You wanna hear
we
this
love,
one?
No, and record your mom joke if you want to. 608-492-9292.
You're priming the pump. I love it.
Come on. I mean, if you listen and you've got a mom joke, then you do it. Come on. I mean, 608-492-9292. I am really excited. Go for it.
All right, this is a mom joke from a New Jersey listener.
Hey, Doctor and Carl. Thank you for bringing this new podcast to the internet. It's really wonderful, very informative. I have a mom joke for you, and I'll warn you, you have to be up there in age to get this one. What is a first grade reading teacher's favorite hit song? By the time I get to phonics.
You're of a certain age. You got that, didn't you? I didn't get it when I first heard it, so I had to look it up.
Good.
By the time we get to Phoenix, right?
That's right.
Who
Go
sang
ahead.
that?
I don't know.
You just
I don't
were
know.
familiar with the
Yeah,
song.
I got it.
It's a good one, New Jersey
That's it.
listener.
Thank you, New Jersey listener. That's right. Of a certain. Well, these jokes,
certain
jokes
age.
are age related.
They
That's
are.
right.
Yeah, that's great. Like my Frozen joke. That was.
That's right.
That was from a while back. But anyways, yeah, that was
Not that far back.
No, not that
please.
far back. Different podcast
A while back is like Perry Como and Dinah Shore. You don't even know who Dinah Shore is.
Is that a reptile?
No,
it's-
Dinah Shore.
Oh.
See the. Can I sing it?
do it,
Good.
please.
Can I
I'll add
wrap it up?
I'll add reverb
Okay.
later.
Will you do
Yeah,
it?
sure.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America is asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet in the USA. America is the greatest land of all. Mwah! That was Dinah Shore. People of a certain age will know who Dinah Shore is.
Yeah.
And other people like you will not know.
Was
Will
she
not
an
know
actress?
what the beep
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Okay, that was a great mom
Did you know
joke.
what the word beep?
What is beep? Is that a swear
F-bomb.
word?
What
Okay,
the
it's an
beep
F-bomb.
I'm talking about. I might as well just put the
I'll
beep
put
in.
reverb on that too. That'll be great.
Beep. Beep, beep, beep.
All right. Remember a while back on that old radio show, we just did that thing called
It's not that old.
the Grammar Police.
Recently.
How long has it been? I don't even know. It seems like a while ago. We changed the name of it to the Grammar Cops, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
which was your suggestion. Because
Yes, it
before
was.
that, I had what did
Oh,
I
yeah,
call it?
something like the
Oh, yeah,
reverberation
it was the
grammar section. or
grammatical
something.
sabbatical.
Way too
Yeah,
long.
way too academic. Zorba did not like that one.
No.
But so now it's called the Grammar Cops.
We got a grammar situation here.
Grab a cop.
Boop, boop, bop, bop.
He's dancing.
Dot, dot, dot.
Zorba's dancing.
Beep, beep, boop, boop.
Watch your grammar, folks. All right, this infraction came from the mom joke cops. We were just talking about mom jokes. Segments are colliding here. I'm getting confused. But
That's okay.
This is an email from Linda in Boonton, New Jersey. More New Jersey. I love it. Linda writes, Carl, this one's for you. I love the show, and I especially love how Dr. Zorba and you are continuing your good work with the podcast. Best wishes
Thank you.
for continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
However, you know it was coming,
That's
right?
right.
However,
Semicolon, however, comma.
there is a comma there. When I read Mom Joke segment on the description of the podcast episode, each podcast episode has like a little blurb, like a little description.
Yes, right.
Linda says, I thought, quote, jokes about moms? Huh, that's odd. Now that I understand,
jokes about moms.
it's jokes crafted by your mom. Shouldn't the segment be called Mom's jokes.
Oh, mom's jokes.
Like they're my mom's jokes.
Mom's jokes.
Phrased this way, it says your mom has jokes to tell. I'm no expert in this field, so maybe other listeners can clarify
Mom's
this.
jokes.
Yes.
Mom's jokes versus mom jokes.
It doesn't sound as good,
Yeah,
though,
it
right?
doesn't
It's not
sound.
as punchy.
Well, I mean, you can title anything. It's a title.
Yeah.
So
Mom
you
jokes.
can title everything. Titles have a different format.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can title anything. Do you believe me?
They're a way...
Am I making this up?
No, I think I know what you're saying. Like, they don't have to...
I sound like it because I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
That's right. 'Cause I sound like...
I'll believe anything you say,
title it.
Zorba.
That's right. No, but I think it's a title. Titles do not always sit with grammar. On the other
Right.
hand, she is correct.
Well, I just love that.
Mom's
Yeah.
jokes.
Mom's
Doesn't
jokes.
sound as
It's
good.
just- it's not as
Mom's
snappy.
Jokes. Yeah, it's not as snappy. This is the latest mom's jokes. No, mom's. I don't.
Plus-
Why did the S make it sound so
I don't
like
know what it
mom's
is.
jokes?
It was a reaction to like dad jokes. Like people know that phrase,
I understand.
dad jokes.
But
So-
it should have been dad's jokes.
Right, dad's jokes.
Mom's jokes and dad's jokes.
Linda, it sounds like we disagree.
Mom's jokes and dad's jokes. God, sounds like, I don't know, sounds like a recipe for something. Like it's yolks,
Yeah,
jokes.
yolks.
I know, mom's jokes and dad. The answer is thank you.
Thanks, Linda. Thanks for participating. That's the
And
answer.
thanks for being a member of the Grammar Cops. We always we always recognize their importance in our life, in
Yeah.
our daily lives.
Yeah.
Without good grammar, where would you be? Slop. That's it. You'd be slop. No one would understand what you're doing.
Like slop's a great word, isn't it?
It is.
It's one of those words that just sounds
Slop.
Yeah,
It just
it's
sounds
so-
awful, doesn't
yeah,
it?
It's great.
But anyway, if you would like to...
thank you. Finish this for me, please.
Let's finish this up. 608-492-9292. Email me at askdrzorba@gmail.com. And don't forget to tell your friends about our podcast.
Please do. Do you want to do one more email?
Sure,
We get a
of
lot of
course.
them, so we might as well
Okay,
just bang
let's
some
do
of these
another
out. This is a question from Margaret, who writes, what are the proportions of salt to water for a sinus rinse?
Well, first of all, you can have it... It's such an interesting sort of question. It's got to burn a little bit.
Just a little bit of burn.
Yeah. So when I do a sinus rinse, I put a tablespoonful of salt. I use kosher salt that doesn't have iodine. Why do I do that? I don't know. I just do it that way. Put it in a glass of water with like 6 ounces of water, mix it around, and that turns out to be good. Well, for me, it turns out there are packets that you can buy that have
Right.
a certain amount of salt within them. You can go to the net and look at various amounts of salt. But the whole idea is the salt should be a little bit irritating, I think, to your sinuses. Not super irritating, because I think then it tends to dry them up. So I'm not giving an exact answer, because I'm going to send you to the web and try different things. I'm just telling you what I do.
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
That's good
yeah.
enough for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's because you're sitting opposite me. I don't know if it's good enough
I have
for
no
everyone
choice,
else.
right?
You have no choice, and we do not use our phones. Phone down,
Yeah.
mic up. That's
a lot
what
of
we say.
podcasts, you see, like they're on video, and you see they have their laptops open, and they're just like
I don't
looking
do that.
stuff up.
I never
Zorba,
did it for. I
folks,
never
does
did
not
it for
do
the
that.
show.
No.
This is all spontaneous slop. No, it's not slop. I wanted to sketch.
As long as it's not AI slop.
From that. No, but it's all spontaneous.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's good.
And once again, I do it differently with this. I don't measure it out particularly, and it must burn a bit.
Just
That's
a
what I
little
think.
bit of burn.
Little
Okay. Are we ready for receiving healthy living questions from our listeners? Well, sign us up. Thanks for laughing,
Sign
Zorba.
us up.
You can post
Ask-
on our Facebook page.
That's
You
right.
can email at askdrzorba@gmail.com.
You can call us at 608-492-9292. You can go to our website, drzorba.org, or
Yeah.
you can simply look straight at Wisconsin and send it through the radio waves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Just
didn't know
look
that,
at the
did
state
you?
of Wisconsin.
That's right.
And send it through the waves.
Through the radio waves,
I like
that's
that. We gotta end this episode, don't we? This is what I
think
try
so.
to do every time. I
So-
try to sum it up.
Good luck.
Sometimes
Sum it
it
up.
works.
Sum it up,
Sometimes
Carl.
it doesn't.
Go for it.
What did we learn? We talked about the study that you're excited about long-term use of PPIs and maybe not a stomach cancer risk.
Exactly. PPIs and H2 blockers, the things that people take for GERD and for acid, are not associated with stomach cancer. Period. Great study.
Great study. You helped out a caller. She was wondering about if she should get this calcium
That's
score.
right. Calcium score, what it means for whether or not she should take something to lower her cholesterol.
Yeah. We talked about barley and pads of butter
That's
and
right.
cinnamon.
And having something really good in the morning
Yeah.
that will lower your appetite throughout the day. And it's not Tony the Tiger with sugar frosted flakes.
And we heard a mom joke. The grammar cops showed up. And you talked about a sinus rinse, right?
That's right.
Your favorite ingredients.
Exactly. Very important, especially during this time of year.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, folks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What can they do?
And remember, you can call us at 608-492-9292. Leave us your message. We can play it on the air. We'd love to speak to you, and that's a great phone number. You can also email me at askdrzorba, spell it out, at gmail.com. That's askdrzorba@gmail.com. And don't forget, we have a great website, drzorba.org, and I want to remind you to stay well.